You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Welcome to Chamber Chat. I am one of your hosts, Courtney and Galle, the Director of Special Events.
And I'm Brian Bondy, President of the Conroe, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce.
Each month, guests are brought on to talk about what's happening in the Conroe, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. We get the inside scoop of our members, what they do, and what has made their company successful. We also chat about upcoming events and programs the Chamber is hosting. The Conroe, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit 501c6 organization and is designated as a 3-star accredited chamber by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The mission of the chamber is to strengthen the economic environment and quality of life in Montgomery County. The chamber is made up of more than 1,100 members and provides members with monthly networking events, educational seminars, cost-effective marketing opportunities, and more. I hope you have your cup of coffee because we have a great lineup this morning. I obviously needed my cup of coffee.
You did that great.
Cost-effective.
Cost-effective.
Yeah.
That's okay. I feel the exact same way this morning.
Tuesday is my Monday.
It's a Tuesday on a Monday.
Right, exactly.
Or a Monday on a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know what? There are certain things in the year that you can always count on, right?
Yes.
Like New Year's is always on January 1st.
Right.
And then you can guarantee that that's going to be the start of the new year.
Yes.
And then, of course, you know that when February comes around, that means it's Go Texan time.
Right.
But when April comes around, there's only one thing that's on my mind.
I wonder what that is.
It's been going on for 61 years. Could it be
the Montgomery County Fair?
Oh, it could be.
Do you like our little
How about that
there?
for a little setup?
That's,
That's pretty good, Todd.
No kidding.
Well, we want to welcome Todd to the to Chamber Chat and the radio show. So we're going to be talking about the upcoming fair.
Thanks for the welcome. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity to be with you guys today.
Well, thank
61 years.
It's hard to believe.
It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic, too.
So, have y'all ever gone back and estimated how many kids over those 61 years, including this year's students, that have shown animals or non-livestock and translate that into dollars in the community?
You know, we've never done that, Brian, but that's really interesting. It's something we probably should do, and I think we'd be probably amazed at what that number would be.
Yes.
You know, it's always interesting to me, too, though, throughout the year and visiting with folks, and especially as I become more involved with the different committees in our fair association, to learn about people who were exhibitors, you know, as a young person during the fair, and then have come back to serve again as a committee person or volunteer with the fair association. So to me, it speaks a lot about the fact that we create that bond and that the kids who did participate as young people, you know, maybe got a sense of responsibility through those projects that they did, and then that's carried over as an adult as well. So, yeah, that'd be an interesting number.
So, you know, if you think about 60 years, that's probably conservatively 4 generations.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got multiple family generations that have been a part of this over those years. And, you know, even if you figure on, well, let's just say 500 kids a year. I mean, you're talking about 30,000 plus young people.
Sure.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's a huge number. And, you know, what is also interesting to me is that number continues to grow.
Right.
And as we think about the demographics in our county and the kind of folks that live here in Montgomery County now and how our fair appeals to those young people, I think we still have a lot of value in what we do and can offer the young people in our county a lot of opportunities out there.
Yeah.
So kicking off when?
Well, it officially starts on Friday the 13th.
That's good luck, folks.
Yeah, we figure that's going to be the best day of the year for us.
Right?
Yeah. So, Friday the 13th is our official start, and then our fair will run 10 days, and we get really geared up on Thursday with kind of a kickoff event, and then Friday is when the activities officially start.
Yep. You want to talk about the kickoff event?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
You ask those questions.
Okay. So for the second time, we are going to be hosting, but now we're going to be including all of the chambers in the county, a kickoff to the fair on Thursday. So Fun After 5 at the fair.
Yep.
From 5 to 7, come and go, just to kick it off and invite our business community to come out and see what everything about the fair. And last year was very successful. We had a great time. I know we're really excited about doing it again. So
Yes, and we are too. And to me, last year was the best time we could do that, and I think that thanks to you and the effort that you guys put into it, it's a huge success.
Yeah.
And two, the fact that it was our 60th anniversary
Yes.
and our history with the chamber going back to when the fair started just
Yep.
made it the right time to do that. So
Yep.
I think carrying over from what we've done last year,
Yep.
I'm looking forward to a great event this year too.
yeah,
And I would guess that the business community in Conroe, Woodlands, Willis, Montgomery, Magnolia, East Magnolia County, I mean, it's an integral part of the fair as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. I was thinking about that this morning, and our fair is the success we have is due largely to the generosity and the support that we get from the businesses in our county. And I think, too, that that's part of the uniqueness of our fair, in that the community comes together to support all of the young people that participate there. And it's just a great opportunity for those businesses to do that. And I don't think a lot of them are looking necessarily for the recognition. It's more about supporting
Right.
those young people. So it's a neat deal for them.
yep. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Kind of just because it popped into my head, not about Fun After 5, but how many volunteers do y'all have out there? Because that's probably your the backbone of the fair.
Sure, it is. And, that number bounces around. I know we kind of use around 600 as the standard number
Wow.
for the number of folks that
Yeah.
we think are active volunteers. And again, it varies from year to year, but that kind of is what we use as a number every year. We're always looking for more. And
Right.
so if folks are thinking about a chance to become active in the community and an event that truly supports what our community does and the young people in our county, we'd
Yeah.
sure welcome them out.
Yeah, they can come see me 2 weekends in a row at the gates.
Ah,
Welcome.
so that's what we were driving at
Right.
here.
Big volunteer right here.
There you go.
And it's a great way to meet people if you're new in the
Yes.
community.
Sure,
I think so.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, thinking about the businesses, obviously Chamber of Commerce, we're always interested in promoting the business. Are there a lot of sponsors that are out there for the fair that have been with the fair as a business for the 60 years?
There are quite a few. In fact, looking down the list of our events and the ones that are sponsored by different businesses, it's kind of neat to me that a lot of those businesses come back and do the same event year after year.
Wow, that's
And I
awesome.
think, yeah, it is. It's fantastic. I think part of it is that maybe they get a certain intrinsic reward out of doing that, but also it's consistency for them, to be
Yeah.
year to year to be in the same spot. So, but we do have quite a few of them that do that.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going to be going on during the weeks of the fair?
Sure, yeah. So the first weekend is kind of the rodeo, what we call rodeo weekend, and that's our kickoff weekend. Friday night we'll start with quite a few events. One of the neat things that I think we've done well in the past few years is our educational exhibits, and that barn is sponsored by Buckaloo Chevrolet. And you mentioned, Brian, one of those long-term sponsors, and
Right.
Buckaloo certainly is one of them.
Yeah.
You bet.
But, so that barn will open up, and that's kind of an opportunity for young folks that maybe aren't involved with the project in the fair to come out and experience a lot of what the fair does. And that's through the petting zoo and different educational exhibits, things like that. But then Friday evening, we'll start with our first rodeo performance. And then the concert that follows that will be Shane Smith and the Saints. So we're looking forward to.
Nice.
Good deal.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
really
I think
good
it'll be
deal.
a great concert.
Outstanding.
Yeah, and then Saturday is a big day too. We have a lot of different events, fair-related events going on, including our ag mechanics contest. A lot of the livestock projects are checking in. I think the broiler show, the poultry show is that Saturday.
Okay.
So it's a busy, busy day. And then Saturday night we have our second rodeo performance, followed by a concert with Wade Bowen.
Love
Wow.
Wade.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I may have to go backstage and meet Wade Bowen.
Y'all are
You may-
pulling
you
out
may
all
have
the
to.
Yeah,
stops
I've
on
not
that one.
done that, but I may have to invoke my presidential privilege this year.
There
for
you
that.
go.
If you don't, I'll be ashamed of you.
You want to come with me, Brian?
Yeah,
That'd
yes,
be fun,
sir.
too. You bet. Yeah, so anyhow, and then Sunday, I think is another great event. It's our ranch rodeo, and that's something we started a few years ago that to me, if you want to come see what real cowboys do, that's a great time
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah, it's a pretty neat thing.
Yeah.
They do have a few spills out there. It's a great event. So Monday kind of moves into the junior events. You know, we have a lot of the livestock events, the livestock shows going on Monday through Monday and Tuesday. Our junior non-livestock auction happens Monday night, and that's always a good opportunity for our folks in our county to come out and support the youth. We also on Tuesday have more of the livestock events, and then Wednesday night culminates with the junior livestock auction.
So the non-livestock auction, tell us a little bit about the items that that the young people make and are auctioned off at that
Sure.
event.
Yeah, it's a wide variety. It really is. And I always enjoy going and looking at the different projects these kids bring and the quality and the craftsmanship they put into them. There's things out there that I just scratch my head and say, how'd they do that? And so it varies from, you know, food-related items to craft projects. The kids that do win have put a lot of effort into it. I know, you know, just to brag for a quick minute, my daughter was fortunate her senior year to have a grand champion cake. And I can remember that, you know, we ate a lot of cake because you don't
Getting
have
it
to
just right.
That's
Right,
right.
yeah.
So it was a good deal, but you know, that not only do they have to cook the dish or whatever it is, they have to know the recipe, and then they're interviewed and by a panel of judges to how well they know it. So it's a lot more than just making the project.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the best of the best is represented at that auction.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I like the fact that y'all have that too, because not everybody is able to show an animal and
Right.
do that, because that, I mean, it is a lot
Sure,
of work. So that's what I love about the Montgomery County Fair, that you have that option.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so being relatively new to the community, this would be my second go-round with the fair. Well, actually, the third one. Actually,
Yeah, third,
the third livestock auction. I am blown away by the generosity of this community
Me
Yeah.
too,
for
Brian.
the young people that are showing animals and non-stock items as well. But the livestock auction is something to behold.
It is, and you know, I get the opportunity to visit with other folks around the state and the country about their fairs too, and
Yeah.
especially within Texas, Montgomery County is recognized as one of the unique fairs in that regard because
Yep.
of the amount of money that we generate in that livestock auction.
Yep.
And
Pretty amazing.
it is amazing, and it's amazing to me that we do it year after year.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
It is.
Yeah.
And the
Speak-
chamber has a
Yes.
fair buyers club, don't we?
We do.
All right.
We do. Yes. So we have our buyers club. So members can donate towards that. If you donate $100 or more, you get to go to the buyers party with us.
Well worth it.
Yes. And then we take our pool of money, and then we partner with a couple of other organizations. So we usually buy either a grand or reserve champion animal, and we buy three or four different ones, and we do some non-livestock items as well too. So it's a part of being able to be, you know, individuals. Sometimes it's hard to, you know, give $5,000 or $6,000 to buy it. So this is a way to pool all of our money together and then help support the youth of our county. So
Yeah, and I would add to that, if there are folks out there that, you know, maybe in the past have wanted to purchase or help purchase an animal, this buyers group is a great way to do it.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, Courtney, folks that, you know, don't have the resources
Right.
to buy a project on their own, if they want to contact our fair office, we can gladly help them
yeah,
but navigate that and
Yep.
understand how to be a part of a buyers group.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and what is fun, speaking as a relative newcomer to the community, is sitting there in the auction ring. And of course, we have Brent Sherrod that takes care of
Yes.
our fair. And
Yes.
we know that the money's in good hands when Brent's spending it, because he muscles his way into some of those
He
deals.
does.
It's the way to go, folks. I got to tell you, it's awesome. So, so the second weekend, what comes up then?
Yeah, that's a huge weekend as well, and so, you know, that's again another unique thing to me about our fair. It's not only we're having a livestock, non-livestock competition and all the fair-related activities, then we culminate at the end of the fair with a barbecue cook-off, which could be an event on its own.
Yes.
But yeah, so that will really get kicked off on Friday, and the teams move in Thursday, and the pits get fired up Friday morning, and then it all gets judged on Saturday. So it's a huge weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
100 and some odd, 130 something teams, I think, this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And,
Yeah.
and so I was reading the history of the fair because the new guide to everything Conroe Lake Conroe just
I have
came
one
out.
right here.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
How convenient. Apparently the barbecue cook-off was all part of the same weekend, and it got to be so large
Right,
that it had to
right.
get its own weekend.
Yeah.
That's the sign of a successful County Fair.
Yeah, and again, just the generosity of folks in our county that come out and contribute to that.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me, and it's sponsors that are involved in it, the volunteers that are involved in it. It's just amazing to think about all the folks that put in time, effort, and resources to make all that happen.
Yeah.
And it's very family friendly from what I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Sure is.
Why don't you tell our listeners how they can purchase tickets to attend the fair or volunteer, give them a website, all that good information.
Yeah, our fair office is open. We've got some fantastic ladies working there, and if you want to give them a call, that's a great way to do it too. Or you can go online at mcfa.org, and there are opportunities to purchase tickets online. Yep. A lot of the questions that folks may have can be answered through our website as well. So I'd encourage you to go there first.
Yep, definitely.
So we want to take a break and then come back and visit some more?
Yep, that sounds good. We'll be back with Chamber Chat in a few minutes.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris.
And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
And welcome back to Chamber Chat on Lone Star Community Radio. I'm one of your hosts, Courtney Galle.
And I'm Brian Bondy with the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. We are talking about the Montgomery County Fair that kicks off with Fun After 5 at the fair on Thursday, April the 12th, and officially kicks it off for April the 13th, which will be a lucky day for fair attendees. Todd, tell us a little bit about this fair is recognized across the state of Texas.
We are. We've been very fortunate in the past few years that we attend a convention in January every year. It's part of the Texas Association of Fairs and Events. That's the state association that we belong to. And in doing so, we learn a lot more about what other fairs are doing around the state. They have some great educational sessions that we attend. But part of what we do, too, is attend an awards banquet. And so as a fair, we're able to enter different categories. It's a competition among all the fairs in the state. And they categorize it according to how many folks you have come through the gate. So we kind of fall in the 50,000 or so range, which is about what our attendance is yearly. And this past year and the year before, we were really fortunate that we won Best Fair in several categories that to me are super important. And that is things like Best Sponsorship Program, Best Educational Programs. We've won some awards with our different media-related items, our flyers, our advertising, things like that.
Yeah.
But it's just a neat deal, when you think about competing with all the fairs in the state our size to be the best of what we do.
The
That's
best
awesome.
in the state.
That's right.
Yes.
That is
right.
amazing.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
great. What else? We kind of got sidetracked at the break, but we won't go into it.
Well, yeah, we did get sidetracked. So thinking also about the days of the fair, you have a couple of days set aside that are pretty special.
They are, and I was thinking about that earlier. And some of the unique things that we do at our fair, and one of them is our Senior Citizens Day.
Oh, cool.
And that happens on Tuesday, April 17th. And
Tax day.
Oh, it is tax day.
That's a good reason to come out to the fair, folks.
there's always a good reason to come to the fair, Brian. I don't care what day it is. So.
Especially tax day.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, we segue. Go ahead.
And we mentioned earlier about how folks can become involved in the fair. And if you're looking for a way to come out and get a real good feel-good, this is the way to do it. Because Senior Citizens Day, we'll get, I don't know what the number is. I think it's close to 1,000 folks that come out. And,
What? Oh, my
yeah,
gosh.
it's unbelievable. And then the number of volunteers that make that happen, HEB has stepped up big this year, and they're a big part of what we're doing for Senior Citizens Day. So I can remember as a kid helping my dad set up for that thing and just thinking, where are all these people coming from? But they do. They show up, and they're waiting at the door before the door opens.
I bet so, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
it's a great deal, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yep.
And what about on the Sunday?
Yeah, so on the last Sunday, it's our kind of a tribute to the Hispanic part of our population. We call it El Dia de la Familia.
Love it.
It's an event focused on those folks and their kind of music. And I'll tell you, quite frankly, I look forward to it as well. And, talk about just high energy and
Right.
folks that enjoy being out there. So, again, it's a great part of the fair, too.
Yeah.
Big celebration of family.
It is.
Yes, definitely.
I got to tell you, folks, this community is so fortunate to have a fair like the Montgomery County Fair. We take it for granted because we live here,
Right.
but it's not like this in all parts of the state. And even as Montgomery County becomes, as they say, urbanized, this is a real way to hang on to the traditions that make our area so amazing.
It's very true, Brian. And I think about it, from all types of perspectives. When you think about how the fair started and our ties to our agricultural roots, which we still are very proud of and have a strong allegiance to, but also just the aspect of having families come out and be a part of this and having worked all year long as a family to get there.
Right. Yep.
Is a huge deal. And so I think that what you said is very true. It's a legacy for our county, one that I'm certainly proud to be a part of, and I think will continue far into the future. But it takes a lot of folks to make it happen, and I just can't say thank you enough to all the volunteers and sponsors that work for our fair.
Yeah. It means a lot to me, too. Growing up, we, not in Montgomery County, but in Washington County, we raised animals, and so I know it's definitely a lot of hard work year-round. People don't realize that, especially with some of the animals. It's year-round for those kids.
It is.
And they are very dedicated, and it really teaches kids great work ethic. So I'm happy to be able to support the fair in any way I can. So, but people come out. I mean, you have the carnival and everything too.
Yep.
But I mean, there's fun stuff, but there's also a way to give back and help the youth of our county too.
Absolutely.
You make a great point. But not only are the young people learning, but it's a family event.
Yes.
Because Todd has offered himself up for his daughter's cakes all these years to get to the
Right.
perfect
Great
cake.
sacrifice.
Right.
That is a family sacrifice
That's
right
right.
there.
Yes, definitely.
So
Yeah. I just want to kind of reiterate, if you are a member of our chamber and you want to join the buyers group, you can contact me at the chamber at 936-538-7111 or find my email on our website, which is conroe.org. And just let me know. We'd be glad to have you part of that, and that's a great way to be a part and give back to the fair.
yeah, the more money that we collect as
Yes.
part of the Chamber's Fair Buyers Club means we can help more kids
Yes.
in their quest
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
scholarships. And that's a big part of what this is about, is kids earning some money to go to school.
It is.
Yes.
It's a huge part. And, we're fortunate that over the years we can give back in the past few years over $1 million every year to these kids in
Wow.
our county. And,
That's amazing.
and it comes, it's,
Yeah.
again, all tied to generosity of the folks in our county.
Yeah.
Yeah, well
And,
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to provide for their future is a huge deal.
Yeah.
We're proud to be a part of it.
Well, we will love to see you everybody out at the fair, and then come to Fun After 5 at the fair.
April
Absolutely.
12th,
Yes.
5:05 p.m. to 7 p.m. Conveniently located on the fairgrounds at the Wine Garden.
It's the biggest
Wine
spot we
garden,
had.
yeah.
How appropriate. They must know that the Chamber of Commerce likes wine and beer.
Right, exactly, yes.
Todd,
It'll
thank
be a
you
great
very
time.
much.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you for
Thank you
coming.
guys so much.
Thanks again for having me.
Yeah,
My pleasure.
we'll look forward to this year's fair.
You bet.
Yep, thank you very much. And we'll be back with our next segment in a few minutes on for Chamber Chat on Lone Star Community Radio.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Lone Star Community Radio presents the Lone Star Radio Troupe. This talented cast will perform radio plays right here in the Lone Star Studios located in downtown Conroe. There will be a new performance every first Sunday of the month. And if you miss the broadcast, just go to Lone Star Community Radio's podcast or YouTube anytime during that month. Go to ourlonestar.com archives to find the Lone Star Radio Troupe's latest play that's available. This is Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's 104.5 FM and 106.1 FM community station. Find us on the web at irlonestar.com. Lone Star Community Radio is a supporter to the performing arts in Montgomery County, Texas.
And welcome back to Chamber Chat on Lone Star Community Radio. I'm one of your hosts, Courtney Galle, with the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Brian Bondy, president of the Chamber. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Yes. Had a good show so far.
So far, so good. It's going to get better.
Yes, I'm excited.
We're going to be start talking about people who are saving money.
I like it.
It's even better.
Right?
With us is Billie Gorrell with Ashley General Insurance Agency. Is that
Hi.
right?
Hi. How are y'all today?
How's it going?
Good. Good.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Ashley General Insurance and the kind of business that you write.
Well, we're not your typical insurance agency. We're a brokerage general agency, and we deal with agents throughout Texas, and we write hard-to-place business. So an agent will come to us, and then if they can't write something with their standard lines, and we'll write the hard-to-place type restaurants, oil and gas,
Oh,
but
okay.
mostly commercial property, P&C business. So
So-
agents are our customers.
So when they come to you, they're kind of at their last end, their last wit, so to speak?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay. So the agents then are the ones that you really cater to the most?
Yes, the independent agents in Texas. So
Gotcha.
not your captive State Farm farmers.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Is that pretty normal to have that? I've never heard of that before. Is that, I mean, is there a lot of companies that do that, or are you kind of the norm, or you're the, unique, insurance company that does that?
There are probably several hundred in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
but it is not as prevalent as agents.
Right.
Obviously.
Oh, okay.
So you are a relatively new member of the Chamber.
Yes.
Thank you
Super
for that.
excited about
We
that.
appreciate that.
Yes.
And just because I'm curious, what made you decide to join?
I think the biggest thing is I wanted to be a part of the community, and I have 22 employees in Montgomery County. We all live here, and I want to make a difference in the community, and this was the best place for me to do it.
Yeah, well, thank you. We appreciate
Yes.
that.
Love having y'all.
People do business with they know and trust,
Yes,
and the Chamber is a
absolutely.
big part of building that. So let's talk real quick about where you were last August 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th, and how did that affect you and your company?
You probably weren't busy at all during that time, right?
No, no. It's a little scary because you have a lot of different people pulling at you from different ends.
Yeah.
The companies are calling you the day the storm hit, wanting to know, okay, what kind of impact have you had? And we have no idea. And then you've got to deal with your employees and how they're going to get to work, and if they're going to get to work. And worrying about just everybody in our communities. And we have agents that are all over Montgomery County as well as Houston, and it was just crazy time. And it wasn't your typical hurricane, obviously. It was
Right.
flood
Right.
related, so it was
Right.
totally different than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Good point. So I remember when I lived down on the coast, not only did we have to have homeowners insurance, we had to have windstorm insurance, but what I remember for some reason is that the minute a storm enters the Gulf, underwriting stops and no new policies can be written. Is that right?
That is correct. And with the companies, we write with many different companies, and they all have different guidelines.
Okay.
But a majority of them, once it goes into the Gulf, then you're stopped.
So if I'm a business and I'm trying to get my doors open, but I got to have insurance, I'm out of luck.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's kind of scary.
That is. Yeah.
So did you have any of those instances with any of your customers that were trying to help their customers write some business and that got kind of put on hold?
Sure. It's very frustrating, and we try to be proactive, and we watch the weather, and we let our agents know, hey, there's a storm coming out, or we'll
Yeah.
talk to them and remind them you can't bind coverage once that storm hits the Gulf. So we try to be proactive in as much as we can, but we had storm after storm after storm. Not all of them hit our area, but we were unable to bind coverage
Right.
for several weeks.
Oh, that's right.
So
Because of Irma and whatever the other one was.
Oh, yeah.
Because those were all
yeah.
back to back. I didn't even
Absolutely.
think about that. That makes perfect
Oh,
sense.
wow. Oh, my gosh.
So that's the one part of the business, but then the other part of the business that you alluded to a few minutes ago is then the storm is over and the calls start coming in. And that's when your agents and all of the companies, they really have to dig in and get their work done.
Yeah, and I think the most frustrating part about this particular storm, I've been through a few others, was that most of these people didn't have coverage. So their property, they had coverage for their buildings, but as far as flood, they didn't carry flood insurance.
Right.
And people didn't, it's really hard. We had claims coming in, and majority of our claims were just closed without payment because there was our policies don't cover flood. That's a separate coverage that you
Separate
buy.
coverage,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
So that was very sad for us to see happen, and it was a busy time. It's hard to decline a claim. That's what we're here for. But and there were so many people affected by it, especially a business that's their livelihood, and it was frustrating on our end.
Do you see any changes coming up where flood insurance is going to be mandatory?
Know about that, but I know I'm a member of the Texas Surplus Lines Association, and they are really working hard to go deeper into the flood
Yeah.
and make it more available.
Yeah.
Right now, the national program is pretty much who everyone uses,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of talk about it, and so I think it's going to change things, and I hope it does.
So
Yeah.
do most people just think it's never going to happen to them, or it's the cost of it? I mean, or maybe it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest issue right now is all the development, and so it's really hard to predict where places didn't flood before.
Right.
We saw places that did.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's to me, that's really scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you make a good point because it was a 500-year flood event. Some have called it a 1,000-year flood
Right.
event. Places that hadn't flooded traditionally flooded this time. And so I'm sure that not only as underwriters but also as appraisers, you've got to take some of those things into account going forward, so that becomes the new norm almost.
Right.
Absolutely.
so,
And
yeah.
Lloyd's of London, we do a lot of business with them, and
Mm-hmm.
they insured a lot of the flood claims in the Harris County especially, and they were hurt tremendously. And the amount of coverage that they had was minute compared to what needed to be covered. So you could imagine if it would have been fully covered by one
Right.
carrier. So we've got to have
Oh
some
my
other
gosh.
carriers step up to the plate and
Do it, yeah.
participate as well.
Oh, that's another great thought
Yeah, it really
behind
is.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the listeners may not know, but in September, late September of last year, the president signed some legislation that created some tax credits, employee tax credits for businesses that were affected by not just Hurricane Harvey, but Hurricane Irma. I want to say Hurricane Maria, that for some reason rings a bell. Anyway, late last year, the chamber partnered with a company called BCN Management out of South Carolina. Tim Norwood and his son Fields have been here. Had you heard about the employee tax retention credit before coming to a chamber event?
No, I had not at all. So I was interested.
And I guess I'm going to say this because I'm thumping my chest a little bit, but I mean, were you glad to find out that this was a benefit that was offered by the chamber?
Absolutely, and I trusted it because it was offered by the chamber, because these guys were from out of state, and
Right.
it's a consulting firm, and
Right.
it seemed a little too good to be true.
So would you mind walking us through the process that you went through? Because quite frankly, what I know about it is kind of at the 30,000 foot level. I mean, you were actually down in the weeds learning about it as you went. And I'm assuming that it was a beneficial outcome at the end of the day for your company.
Absolutely. It was really not a lot of work at all. At first, I didn't think it applied to us because we were only down a couple of days.
Right.
But they asked us for the data, which was basically employment payment data and overtime pay. They also asked about our numbers, and In August, our numbers were way down. We looked at our contingencies, what we normally make throughout the year, and everything showed that we lost money during that time. It was eye-opening. Not to mention our agents that we didn't have access to because they were too busy with their own claims issues. So at the end of the day, we've got the full benefit, and like I said, I was really surprised. But just by keeping our doors open and continuing to work, the government has passed that new legislation. It worked, and it was a great outcome for us.
That's awesome.
So what was it like working with Tim and Fields and the folks from BCN?
Well, we love them. They're great. They didn't, I mean, obviously good turnout, but they were very helpful. They held our hands through it, asked us for a little bit of information, came out to our office and chatted with us, and they just know their business. Yeah. So I was super happy to meet them, and I think that it was likewise. It was a great relationship.
Yeah.
I know you don't want to necessarily share the numbers, but was it a sizable amount of money that they were able to help you find to be able to use that tax credit for?
It was the max credit, so yes, we were super happy about that. And
really?
And the good thing was that, while they do get a certain portion of that fee, they turn around and give that 20% to the chamber, which we were happy about that. So it went right back into our community.
We were too.
Yes. But yeah,
but really
like you said, it does.
secondary.
It goes right back into our community and back to our members. So yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
So I'm sure there was some trepidation, and I think you mentioned it kind of early on about, is this really legit? How did you vet that process? Because I know what we did to vet the company, but how did you finally get comfortable that this is going to be good for us?
I did a little bit of research online.
Good for you.
I talked to my attorney, talked to my CPA, talked to several people about it, and they all said absolutely, and said it was a legit deal, and a lot of people didn't know about it yet.
Right.
And I'm an advocate. When I talk to people in our business, I remind them, hey, you need to do this, and I've sent them that direction. I don't know if they've taken me up on it, but it's really, that's what it's there for. And, I felt a little guilty at first, I have to admit, because I'm not like some of these people that had flooded homes and flooded businesses, and they're way worse off than we are, for sure. But it's a tax credit, and it's there, and we used it.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Because you're trying to run a business, and this was a way for you to help your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to be an attorney with a leading question, okay?
Uh-oh.
What would you say to businesses that are considering membership in the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce as a result of your participation in this program?
I say they need to do it. I mean, it's a great program. We have, not just from this, we've gone to many different things. We don't participate in all the meetings, but the educational side of it has been my big deal. I love the classes we've gone to. The leadership seminar that we went to last year was great.
You went to LeaderCast.
LeaderCast, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
And we can't go this year because we're participating in the Relay for Life, and we've got a bunch going on that day. But we loved it.
Yeah.
Everything we've done has been beneficial, and I just think it's, as a business owner, you need to get out there and get to meet other business owners as well. I'm not involved to toot my own horn and get more business. I'm there to know other people that are in the same situation that I am, and can relate, because as a business owner, there's a lot of different things you have to deal with. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great answer. I like it.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. We don't have to do a retake on that
but
one.
it makes you feel proud that you're a part of that organization. At least for me, it makes me feel proud that I'm a part of this. So yeah.
And so utilizing a government program, something you never thought you would do before. If you had to do it all over again, would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's a big part of the reason why the Chamber's Board of Directors approved the agreement with BCN, because we know that the Chamber is an advocate for our businesses.
Yes.
And a lot of times there are programs out there that you just never hear about. And part of our job is to make you aware of things that have bottom line potential for your business. And I'm going to guess that this was a bottom line big decision for your business.
Absolutely. It was great. I mean, we wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for the Chamber. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in learning about how your business, because if you're in Montgomery County, if you're in Harris County, you're in Liberty County, San Jacinto County. Anyway, and that was all part of the flood declaration area, you're eligible for tax credits. What that amount is kind of why we have BCN helping us. And just like they helped Billie and her company.
Yep.
Okay, so anything else?
Well, if you want to learn more about it, there's some information in our FYI, or you can call the chamber, and then we can give you the contact information for Tim and Fields and set you up with them. So if you have any information, just contact us at the chamber. We can help you with that.
We've already had a couple of webinars, and
Yep.
we'll probably have another one in later April, which we'll be promoting on our website and on Facebook. So it's the best way to learn about it up front and make your decision if you want to go on to the next step.
Yep.
So thanks very much.
Yeah, and if anybody's interested in contacting y'all, can you give out your phone number and your website?
Absolutely. Our website is ashleyga.com, and our number is 936-441-5970.
Great. Thank you so much.
And you are listening to Chamber Chat on Lone Star Community Radio. We want to thank Billie Gorrell for joining us today.
Yes,
Thank you, guys.
And we'll be back with and to wrap it up for this month's edition of Chamber Chat.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Hey, Montgomery County, it's me, C.C. Holmes. And I would personally like to take this time to invite you, that's right, you, to join me every Saturday and Sunday from 3 until 7 p.m., where I will bring you the very best of smooth jazz, classic jazz, and indeed, yes, the soulful sounds of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So come along and get jazzy with me. That's right, jazzy. Right here, of course, on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Back with Chamber Chat on Lone Star Community Radio. We just wrapped up our last guest, Billie with Ashley General Insurance.
Man, it's been a fast hour.
It goes by so fast. It really does.
Pretty awesome.
Yes.
So we got
Very
a
good show.
few things going on.
We do. We have, as we mentioned in our earlier segment, we have our Fun After 5 at the fair on April 12th.
Yep.
So come for that to help us kick off the fair. But of course, we also have our morning mingle that'll be that morning as well too. So a fun-packed day, but lots of fun. Morning mingles at 7:30 at Conroe's Incredible Pizza Company, and we do. I'm not sure which networking activity we're going to be doing this month, but we try to change it up each month.
Fun.
So yes, lots of fun for that, and you can just RSVP online to come to that. Great networking opportunities. We have, like we mentioned, our buyers group that you can be a part of as well, too. We have tons of different meetings going on. On Thursday, we have an informational meeting about roundtables. So the Chamber, I guess 2 years now almost, started some roundtables for our nonprofits, and we're looking to start some other roundtables maybe for businesses. So we have 2 dates that you can attend this kind of informational meeting on the 5th and the 10th to find out a little bit more about what the roundtables are, how they can help your business, and then hopefully we'll have some people interested and we can start some other roundtables for the chamber. So we have information on meetings about that. I know we're kind of wrapping up our Next Generation Leadership Program with their scholarships, and they're finishing up their year. We have some Taste Fest committee meetings, Athena Leadership Program committee meetings, workforce development. And then on the 19th, too, we have the North Houston Networking Extravaganza at Costco.
Man.
which you have been.
Oh,
and
it's
great.
amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Brett and his team do a great job putting that together.
So all of that you can find on our website at conroe.org. And then we have some big special events coming up. But I do, now that I see this, I want to talk about our diplomats. So each month we are announcing our diplomat highlight or diplomat of the month. And then for this month, it's Steve Reeves with MedCat Funeral Directors. If you have your FYI copy, there's some questions in there about Steve. But I just want to point out that he was asked what his favorite Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber event was and why. And it's Taste Fest. And he said it's a great way to enjoy all the different types of food available in the area. So thank you for that, Steve. We appreciate that, which segues into Taste Fest. It's going to be June 7th this year. And so we're looking for restaurants to sign up. You don't have to be a member of a chamber to participate, but we would love to have you. Caterers, any type of food. You deal with any food. We'd love to have you as a food vendor. If you like, well, I don't deal with food, you can be a sponsor of the event and have a booth there as well too.
Perfect.
Tickets will be on sale soon. Your tickets are $15, and you get
unbelievable
all you can eat plus 2 adult beverages for $15.
You can't touch that.
No, you can't. And we have some great food there. So you'll start to see a lot more about Taste Fest coming up. And then, as we mentioned a few minutes before, about LeaderCast coming up on May 4th.
Yep.
Which we have some great speakers, and you were speaking about one of the speakers.
Yeah, Carrie Lorenz is the first female F-14 pilot in the United States, and she'll give her her thoughts on flying at Mach 2 upside down, pulling a Tom Cruise move where he hits the brakes and the planes fly right by him, something like that. Anyway.
Right. Yeah. And then we have a lot of people might recognize this name, Andy Stanley.
No, he has been a standard, yes.
Yes, leadership author and communicator. I'm kind of excited. There's Joe Torre, with the formerly with the Yankees, is going to be one of the speakers.
Yeah, and he's also a former St. Louis Cardinal. How about that?
We won't talk about that. Go Astros. And then there was one other person I thought was really cool that I wanted to reach out to. Oh, Michael Hyatt.
Yes.
He's author, speaker, and the CEO of the Michael Hyatt and Company too. So a lot of other great speakers. It's only $69 to attend a full day of leadership. $69.
And Billy was just telling us at the break that she'll go to conferences and spend $300 and have to travel.
Yes. And that $69 includes your lunch.
Yes.
And it includes snacks.
Yep.
And includes the program.
All your materials.
And your workbook. Yes.
Yep.
You can't get that anywhere else.
No, and it really is a full day of good leadership programming.
And it's a great place, Star Cinema Grill, relaxing, big comfortable seats. I mean, it's just going to be a great day of leadership. So
big screen, good audio.
Yes.
The whole 9 yards.
Yes. So you need to sign up for that.
$69.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Hey, what's that good-looking book you have there?
I have this wonderful book that's just hot off the presses called The Guide to Everything Conroe Lake Conroe.
Second edition.
We just got it delivered yesterday.
It is a good-looking book.
Oh my
folks.
gosh, it is amazing. There's so many great articles in here about the community that we partnered with the Courier to help us with. Stuff about the fair, stuff about Vernon's Country Catfish, about the Go Texan Parade, and it has all of our information, has a list of all of our members in here. I mean, I just can't wait to go through it. I know as staff, we've already seen it, but there's just a lot of great stuff in here. Stuff about an article about Dr. Stockton, great stuff.
90 pages of solid Conroe Lake Conroe information.
Yeah, great magazine.
At your fingertips.
So if you want a copy or some copies for your business, you can come by the chamber and pick them up.
Free.
Yes. And I think that's it. We're done for Chamber Chat.
Wow,
that went by really fast.
It really did.
Yes. But
Good
tune
day.
into us the first Tuesday of the month on Lone Star Community Radio for Chamber Chat, and we will have a great week and hope to see you at the fair.
That sounds good. Fun at the fair after 5.
Yes.
April 12th.
Thank you.
I'm Brian Bondy.
Thank you for checking out this production of Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station. Don't forget to check out this show and many others across the Lone Star Community Radio Network, either live on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, the Lone Star Internet Radio app, or irlonestar.com's live audio stream. and on replay on podcast, Channel 12's Our City TV in Conroe, or Channel 21 KVQT in Houston, and of course their YouTube channel. This production is copyrighted and all rights are reserved by Lone Star Community Radio. Have a question regarding this program or other Lone Star Community Radio shows? Want to sponsor or start your own show? Call the station message line at 936-647-3776 or email the station at lscrstudios@gmail.com.